Hey everybody, I hope you're having a great night. What better thing to do than do a Q&A on a Friday night, right? We've got 5 little girls upstairs making, I don't even know what they're doing. I'm pretty sure they're creating a crazy tent city in the room. They took off all of the cushions off the couches almost down here, and so all I hear is a whole bunch of giggles upstairs, and they're having a heyday. So I thought I would pop on here and just do a Q&A. Maybe go over some Keto 101, Lifestyle 101, how our family got started. But I would love for you to engage and ask questions, like any questions that you have. I am not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. Maybe my husband will join me. Are you going to join us? But I would love to know where you're tuning in from and how long you've been on this keto journey. What are your goals? What are you excited about? And I'll share my story. And maybe we'll just start with going over this simple Q&A that people ask. Hey, how are you doing? Hi, Nicole. I see Sarah's on. You tried messaging me back. Oh, yeah, sometimes messages go through, sometimes they don't. I don't know, right? So if you've got some Q&A questions, since it's a Friday night and a lot of us are parents that have a whole bunch of little kids at home that we get to sit at home and we're hanging out. You want to come answer questions with me?
Yeah, I'm going to.
So, I would say this. Tell me where you're tuning in from. I'm just gonna hop on here and chat. We're gonna do Q&A. So I would say this. If nobody's gonna ask me questions, one of the very first questions that I get on a regular basis is, how did you first start? Like overwhelmingness. A lot of people just get overwhelmed with the idea of eating keto. And so I think it's gonna be easier. My husband's gonna probably have to read them to me. So what's that? I can't read the small writing.
Oh, we're going to go get your eyes checked.
I am. I'm going to go have a consultation for LASIK. Has anybody ever had LASIK before? I'm excited.
So it's longer than what is shown. So what I'll do is I'll pop on the computer and I'll read them to you.
Perfect.
How does that sound?
But come over here. Pull up the chair and chat with me. He would sit on the couch next to me, except for the kids took all the cushions.
I was not expecting that. That was very directive coaching. Right
very directive coaching. And so where are you tuning in from? We're going to do Q&A. We're sitting in Kentucky in a beautiful farm home of some of our very good friends, the CEO of our company, Prove It. And they've got camels outside, which actually a lot of you were like, camels? I forgot to show you the camels. I'll show you them tomorrow morning. So we're going to do Q&A. The question that I get a lot from is overwhelming. Like people just getting overwhelmed with this diet. What would you say to that, babe? Like, how do you start? How did you start?
Oh, sorry. Hold on. I've got to focus on one thing real quick.
Oh.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Where are you going?
It says...
So my husband started with this strict ketogenic diet over 5 years ago. And so he came home one day and he was about 50 to 60 pounds overweight.
What is that?
What in the world is going on? Oh, they're all supposed to be upstairs, our girls. And he said, I'm going to start adding butter. What would you like? I'm going to start adding butter and stuff to my coffee. I'm going to start eating high fat. I didn't understand what that meant because I was taught to eat margarine, right? Like who on here used to eat margarine and low fat and, right, like wheat thins and all of these things that were low fat, and we didn't know the tip is to flip. We didn't know how to flip all of these boxes over and learn what was in our foods. And so anyways, my husband did the strict ketogenic diet for a long time. He was tracking everything that he ate, weighing it out on a measuring scale. And he was pricking his finger and just trying to eat the best he could keto, getting into ketosis. And he would go in ketosis, then he'd fall out of ketosis. And he'd go in ketosis, then he'd fall out of ketosis. And he would try to get his blood ketone levels around 1.2. I think he'd do a pretty good job, right?
Yeah.
And so I watched him for 2 years, thought he was crazy, helped him fail miserably, right?
This is not comfortable for me. I'm just saying I'll have to sit right here. There.
If you're just tuning in, where are you tuning in from? Our children, we've got 5 girls upstairs creating a crazy fort to sleep in.
They're not all ours. We have 4.
We have 4. There's an extra one tonight. They took all the cushions off the pillows except for the one that I'm sitting on off the couch, and so Steve's going to sit on the chair behind me. If you've got questions, shoot the questions below. We would love to help answer them. Q&As. What are some questions that
Pretty
you
sure
have.
I need to adopt that dog.
That just in general about ketones, ketosis, our family, how to start. I don't know. What questions do you have?
Those are great. So anything about life, anything about adopting dogs, we could talk about that.
My husband wants to adopt a dog, and I say no.
We could talk about eating more meat. We could talk about working out.
I need you to go read those questions because I can't read them.
I'm working on that.
I am going to go for a LASIK consultation next week. I'm excited. And how to start. Okay, so this is how we started.
Thank you, Lindsay. I appreciate you. I do need that puppy.
My husband started the keto diet 5 years ago. I said absolutely not. Watched him fail miserably because I loved lasagna and pizza, corn dogs, Debbie snacks. And then I saw that I was helping him fail, and I knew he needed to do this because I feel like there's two types of people. There are a person A that really can eat healthy or not healthy, can come and go, can say no. Like they could have a bite of ice cream and say no to it. A little bit more like not drawn in by food. Kind of like people that are controlled by food and people that are not. And he would definitely say that if he were to eat like one spoonful of ice cream or one thing that his body craved, like he just wouldn't stop eating it. Would you say that's fair?
100%.
And so I would blame him and I would say, just have the discipline. I don't need to keep it out of the house because I'm not struggling with that. So we went over and over, like back and forth bantering and arguing about what foods need to be in the house. And he would say, Stephanie, please don't have that in the house because if I see it and I eat it, I can't stop eating it. I would say, that is not very good discipline. So we did that for 2 years, right?
Yeah,
and I was a really bad wife.
No, I would just say
I wasn't very supportive.
Not supportive, yes.
So I don't know what it was. One day I saw him eating he was like, I'm going to do this regardless if you're not going to do this with me or not. And I saw the girls crowd around his food and I thought, my kids would rather have his food than mine. I had like this light bulb moment and I thought I probably should do this because for whatever reason, he's very adamant about it. And I've been listening and hearing him teach about ketones and ketosis. And so we decided to do the simple steps of one step at a time because when we decided that we were going to eat this way, first of all, I started with drinking ketones. He started with the diet. I remember going to the grocery store, like in tears going, I don't know what to make and I don't know how to start. And I was so overwhelmed with not buying boxes of food that it was a shift, right? And it wasn't a flipping our kitchen over in a week. I decided after being so overwhelmed after a couple weeks that we started with one meal at a time. So I would do breakfast. And once we got breakfast, we felt like that was good and under control. I would start with lunch and I stopped buying the bread. And that's how we started, right? Yeah. So is that helpful?
Yeah, I think that's great. So Elena asked, she's looking for fat loss. She's been doing low carb for a while. She's dropped 15.
That's amazing.
Going for a massive goal, but maybe something that comes to mind is because maybe she's ready for a reboot. Yes.
So I would say a couple of things. If you're already doing something, that's amazing. Sometimes you just need to.
There's a lot of people who say I need the puppy.
So we're not talking about a dog on here, people. There's no dogs in our house. I'll tell you why in a minute. For Elena, so you're already doing what you're doing. Sometimes you just needed to flip it. So I always tell people, let's look at what's working. Sometimes people have to go back to what was working before. Sometimes I think people forget, they get a little bit more strict and they do really well. And then something kind of something kind of sneaks itself in and then something else sneaks itself in. And 6 months later, they're like, it's not working anymore. And I always said to go back to what was working before. Did you let things slide a little bit, right? Or maybe you've reached a plateau. And I heard the greatest explanation of what that means. People think plateau is a bad thing, but I think it's great because it shows that you've got a discipline.
Oh, that's good.
And it shows that you can keep yourself in this spot. You're not following back to where you were before. I think that's great, right? Mm-hmm. So a plateau isn't bad. It's just going, guess what? Your body, you know what to do. You're right here and that's great. Now, what do we have to do to pivot to make it get past that? Sometimes people might need a keto reboot. So we've got a 60-hour keto reboot that we do every single month. And we actually need to start talking about it. So this is great. It's a 60-hour kit, sorry. And so it is a box that you can go to ketomomreboot.com and there's some videos on there. And it's equipping you to not eat for 60 hours, but it's going to give you the tea, the broth, the ketones, everything to drink. And it helps people get past a plateau. It helps people start their journey. It helps people that have been on this journey amplify what they're doing, right? Like, what do you think about the reboot, babe?
Well, I think it's a powerful thing to reset. I mean, think about it. Like, whenever you have an issue with your phone, what do?
You have to reset it. You've got to reboot it, right?
I'm a huge fan of Dwayne Johnson. I mean, he inspires me to work out harder in the gym. But I really loved the movie Skyscraper, and the whole premise of it, towards the end of it, was what did the building need?
It needed a reboot.
It did. And
it was a good movie.
Your body needs a reboot. So I think it's really powerful. Like Steph said, I just go to ketomomreboot.com. You can check out more info about that. But there's a lot of people who say, I need a puppy. There's one person who says no because the dog says the mom always takes care of it. I hear what you're saying, Sandy.
If you're just popping on, we're doing Q&As. Pop your questions below. We're sitting here because it's a Friday night. We're super cool.
Hey,
our kids are upstairs.
Cool. We have
We've got 4 daughters, but party. A bonus tonight. They're all making a fort upstairs so they can all sleep in the same room.
We drink water.
And this is our party night. And so
here's a great question.
Why do I have a hat on? Is that my question?
Okay, we'll get to that in just a second, Lisa. This hat is very special to Stephanie.
I mean, that's a good question.
But we'll come to that. So we had. Do you believe in carb up days? Annabelle asked, do you believe in carb up days?
Carb days or cheat days. Yeah. I would call it a cheat day.
Well, it depends. Maybe she's a muscle builder or something.
I would say yes. What I know about this keto lifestyle is it's not a one size fits all. So a lot of people think I can just give you directive and it's going to work for you. Some people have to be strict keto. Some people don't. Some people have to go under 20 carbs a day. Some people don't. Some people would prefer to drink pure therapeutic ketones and eat low carb. Some people can't have dairy. Pinterest is your best friend. So I'm going to tell you right now that no matter how you want to eat this keto lifestyle, type in dairy-free keto meals, easy, quick keto meals, or kids keto options, or crock pot keto meals. Pinterest is your best friend. Go use it. It doesn't have to look like Pinterest food, but there's great ideas. Now, going back to carb uploads, what I have learned from a very good friend that is very, very, very active in the gym is this. If you are going to utilize carbs, my girlfriend said it is best to do it before a workout or right after because it builds your muscle. And if your goal is to have big muscles like my goal is by February, she would say use carbs. Now, here's the deal. And this is what I was talking to a girl today, all this afternoon, is if you introduce specific carbs or sugars into your diet or the way that you're eating, I have learned it takes approximately 72 hours to get those cravings out. So if you're deciding to eat specifically or grab some carbs, guess what happens? You're either going to have a crazy, I need some more carbs, or your body's going to start reacting and want more of it. You've got to have something to combat that. So a lot of people say, I've got a cheat day every week. If you're in strict ketosis, right, with the diet, what's going to happen? You fall out of ketosis, right? Do you have something to get you back into ketosis, or it takes you 3 to 5 days to get back there? I drink pure therapeutic ketones. What do? Some people, that's their I do great, have a cheat day, off for another week, get back on track, off for another week. So I would say if you can't handle getting back on track, a cheat day or a carb day isn't the best option. Now, if you're doing low carb and you're not strict keto, there's so many variables, don't you think?
I do.
I do. I'd have to know if you want, send me a specific message on what your life looks like and why you do it, and I can help you with that. Yeah, but I feel like it's specific.
At the same time too, though, we're not doctors,
right?
We're not scientists. I mean, when it comes to the human body,
I legitimately am going to say you better have some pure therapeutic ketones that we drink every day to get yourself back on track. That's what I would say.
Tammy says, I've been on keto for 2.5 weeks. My weight isn't budging. Heather
2.5 weeks?
Heather says, bread is such a hard thing and so many things I'm used to eating with it.
Number one, this is what I've learned. Again, we are not doctors, but what we've learned over the last 3.5 years or 4 years almost is the scale it's very different from when you're doing keto. So first of all, it's 2.5 weeks. Something that I heard an expert say is this. Think about how many years you've been maybe the way you've been, maybe overweight or just not as healthy as you want to be. Take that perspective and put that into months before you start seeing what you want. Is that a good gauge? So say it's been 12 years where you're I've been this way for 12 years. I'm ready to make a change. Mm-hmm. Stick with this for a year. Give it 12 months. You'll see changes, right? if you're eating keto or low carb, the scale is not cannot dictate whether you're achieving goals or not right away. It's about inches lost, how your clothes are fitting, how's your energy, how's your focus, because the scale measures a lot of water weight. If you're doing a diet, you're going to see the scale drop because you're losing muscle mass. Ketones preserve muscle, or water, right? Yeah. So you need to get rid of the scale. 2.5 weeks is not long enough to depict what you're going to do. Like, how is your energy? How is your focus? How is your brain fog? Are you in ketosis?
Yeah, she may not.
You might not even be in ketosis, and so are you tracking that? So again, there's lots of variables, but this isn't about the short term. Like, especially women and men. Some women can drop pop and like sugary treats, and they might see the scale drop 10 pounds. Women have hormones. Women have lots of different things. Like, there's so many more things to measure. So take a note to your inches lost. How are your clothes fitting? How are you sleeping? How is your mood? Because if you're eating a lot of carbs and sugar, it can cause some serious mood crashes, right? Or just like craziness. Why are you laughing?
Because I need to go drink
some water. Here.
So Heather says she loves the reboot. But Sarah, this is a great question. She says, how do you do it with your children? I'm a single mom to a 4-year-old, and I don't want to make 2 separate meals.
Yep. Great question. So in the very beginning, when we started this with our girls, what we did is this. We kept the meals very basic. I think I made hamburger. Do you remember this? When we were first trying to make dinners, I made hamburger every night with some garlic in it, sprinkled cheese in it, with cauliflower and broccoli and butter on it for like 4 or 5 meals every night because I didn't know what to make. I never made 2 meals. I usually would have a couple options. Like, we would have a meat, a vegetable, maybe a salad. Our girls weren't super picky eaters, though.
Right.
So what I tell parents is this. Maybe in the very beginning.
They were kind of at the beginning, but that was a process. It was a journey.
Right. So even for me, I had never eaten anything green.
Like, candy was always a challenge.
Right.
They loved candy.
They always, we always had a dessert after every single supper. Like, that was like a habit that we had.
Oh, the applesauce squeeze packets. That was a challenge.
Right. So we took one thing at a time. Once the cereal box was gone, we didn't buy it. The hardest thing for me was goldfish crackers because I was like, that
took a while.
That was like, why would I do that? But Steve was like, Stephanie, they don't need them. Do you want to get me? Do we have a charger?
Yeah, I'll find one.
So once something was gone in our house, I stopped buying it. Once the Oreo sleeve was gone, I stopped buying it. Right? Once the applesauce was gone, I stopped buying it. Now here's the deal: my kids still eat fruit. Our kids are not strict keto. We just got rid of the breads, the pasta. If they have those, it's outside of the home. I do the best that we can in our home. We introduced one vegetable at a time. So, like, hey, we're all going to try asparagus. We loved it, right? We're all going to try Brussels sprouts. Nasty.
Well, they're really good at 502.
Right. So I would just say with your kids, don't talk about it's your words are more powerful than what you're eating. Like, they're going to correlate what you're eating with how you're speaking. If you're saying this is mommy's fat or daddy's fat, I'm on a diet, they're going to correlate, like, why would I eat mom and dad's food? Like, they're doing that to lose weight. But if you're like, oh my goodness, this is so good, I'm trying to be healthier, I want to be stronger, and go, hey, guess what? This makes our body strong. Like, we're feeding our bodies the best we can. Have that conversation with your kids. Incorporate them and have them watch you make foods. Have fun in the kitchen. That's what we did. And we all just tried one thing new every time right?
That's great. So this is fun. Melissa Belanger says, 7 weeks in, I'm down 15. And I'm
Good
steady.
job.
I'm not counting. I'm not sore. I'm not even getting my calories, fats, and proteins in.
I love it.
I'm full, and she's interested in the reboot. All right, answer this question because Lisa's wondering, why do you have the hat on?
Okay, so that's funny. You're the second person that's asked me this on the Keto Mom page. I wear a hat all the time. So I'm a very simple, I don't love makeup. Like, if you want to know just a little bit about me, I don't even know how to put eyeliner on. I'm not wearing mascara. I've just never been like that. If somebody wants to teach me how to do my makeup, come on over to my house and teach me. I love to wear a hat because I just don't love to spend time getting ready in the morning. And so I will do my hair if I'm speaking at an event. Like this whole last week, I curl my hair. I put makeup on. It was 4 days. And so these last 2 days, my hair needed a break and my face needed a break.
I think you're beautiful.
I wear a hat all the time. I don't know. It's just a me thing. I love to wear hats. That's it. No reason.
I love it. So Regina's on. She thinks I need a puppy.
Oh, we love Regina. We love you.
Karen wanted to say hello. You're a rock star. What are your thoughts on
I'm having him read it to me because if you're just popping on, I can't read. Say hi, Regina. I can't read the little writing, and I'm going to have a LASIK consultation for my eyes next week.
So let's see. Katie asks, what are your thoughts on sugar alcohols?
Oh,
and then Bethany
that's good.
asks, can sugar alcohols make you maybe stall? Yeah,
okay,
got it. Stall on weight loss.
So sugar alcohols. You know how I did a little tip, and I need to admit something. I was going to give you 14 days of tips, and then here's my excuse. I had an excuse, like we're at a house that doesn't have the greatest internet. This is working right now, but it wasn't working for a little while, so I just lost track. So please forgive me. I think I made it to like day 4. But sugar alcohol. So something that we use when we bake is Swerve or monk fruit, or a lot of people use stevia. So it depends. Some people react to them. Some people don't. I've heard that they can stall people's fat loss. It's about fat loss. Again, everything's variable. And that also plays into net carbs and total carbs. So if you're counting your carbs and you're trying to get under 20 carbs a day, some people might have to count every single thing that's on the back of their whatever they're eating. Even it'll say like sugar, alcohols, and even fiber. Where net carbs come in is, say you look at the total carbs and it's like 10, and say in fine print it says 3 fiber and 6 alcohols. You could actually subtract 9 and you'd only have 1 net carb. Some people count total carbs. Some people count net carbs. Some people react to sugar alcohol. Some people don't. We don't, right? Like we don't react to it. I'll bake with it. We've got stevia in our Keto OS that we drink. And so everybody's different. You'll know if you react to it or not. Is that good enough?
I think that's great. Let's try going like this. How can we go quiet? Quiet.
What are you doing?
There.
Oh, so
Ta-da.
you can see your face.
No, it's just so you can see better and you don't get sidetracked. I'll be your reader for you.
Happy Friday night.
Christina Yeager's on. She says, ketones allow me to add more carbs into my day. Once I have reached my goal, and I've maintained that for 4 months.
Christina, we love you. I think you're amazing.
She's amazing. Okay, so Allie says, yes, on the puppy. Her dog was recently diagnosed with something not good. So she's really sad. And she made her realize.
Pray for your puppy.
She made it realize how important it was to have a puppy through her childhood. But here's her question. Do you eat at restaurants? And if so, how do you track what
I love eating at restaurants. Okay, I'm going to give you a little bit of advice. In the very beginning, when we started this journey, he was a complete tracker, tracked everything in MyFitnessPal, everything that he ate. Again, pricked his finger, weighed his food. There was nothing that got by his tracker that did not go in his mouth. Like everything was tracked. And he did that for a long time.
That sounds terrible.
I know, but I watched you do that, and I thought you were nuts. But here's the deal. The reason some people have to track their food is to just get an overall idea for a certain amount of time to go, oh, I've got this, right? So in the beginning, I tracked my food. I wasn't great at it, but I love to have a visual of what you're doing. So if you're just starting, you could go to MyFitnessPal. I tell people don't try to be perfect, but if you just track for the first 3 or 5 days of what you're eating, there's a nutrition button. All you do is hit the button, and it'll show you where your macros are. So it'll show you fats, proteins, and carbs, and it'll give you an idea of going, you might really be on track. You might go, oh, I did really good without being so strict to the phone in my tracker. Or you might go, yikes, like I ate 65% carbs and only 20% fat. So I do think tracking can be valuable for a while. We're in this for 3.5 years, so I don't track my food. I know if I'm going to eat something that I shouldn't, I'm going to feel like garbage, and I can feel it. Would you say the same thing?
Yeah, 100%.
Wait, I didn't answer one of the questions.
That's why I just eat meat.
Wait, I didn't answer. What was the question? It was tracker and it was something else.
Restaurants.
Oh, we just ate at a restaurant.
While you talk about restaurants, because I think that's important, I'm going to go hook up my humidifier.
Wait, no.
It's really dry.
In my black purse on there, I think I have a cord and a battery for the phone.
I'm going to grab that.
It's right there on the counter.
I got it.
I love restaurants. We travel a lot. We eat out probably more than we should.
It's not totally true.
Yeah, we do. We do. We make food at home the best as much as we can, but when we're traveling, we do eat out. We eat out with our team. We eat out with our friends. Our CE loves to eat out. So even our kids do this. If we go eat out, we say don't mess up good for perfect. We've done this from the very beginning. There's good, better, and there's best. Best meaning you eat at home, you grow your own food, you've got your own cows, everything is grass-fed. Like, that's the best. Everything is organic. Good is like everything might not be organic, but I chose to eat, a burger at home that might not be organic meat. Hey, it's in my purse, Steve. The black one. The actual battery case is in my purse. But I chose to eat, like I took the bun off the burger, the croutons off the salad. Might not be the best, but it's a good option. Better is like maybe some of it's nitrate-free organic. Does that make sense? So when we go out to eat, my kids they've done this because they've watched us for so long. They order the burger, they either take the bun off or they order with no bun.
Or just get an air fryer.
We love an air fryer, by the way. Our newest appliance, is it an appliance?
Yeah.
Is an air fryer. We love it. We cook all of our meat in it, and so it's absolutely amazing. Ask for it on your Christmas list. Number 2, when we're at a restaurant, I always look for a restaurant that I can get a salad. I always say, I just want a Caesar salad, get the dressing on the side with bacon, avocado. I usually add egg and some salmon or chicken, whatever I can add. Usually when you go out to eat, while the dressing might not be completely like soybean free or the oil that you want, you really would have your best option with either a ranch, a blue cheese, or Caesar. So they're probably going to have the least amount of sugar, less carbs. Again, they're not going to have the oil in there that you want, but it's a better option. Does that make sense? So when we go out to eat, we look for a place I can get a salad, a bunless burger, vegetables. Is that it? That's what we do. That's how we eat out. So if we have tacos, like a taco restaurant, we'll get like fajitas. Don't eat the shells. We'll do taco salads. That's it. I keep it. Don't get overwhelmed. Like, you're ordering the food, so just make it work for you. What were you going to say, Steve?
Tell them what you're doing. Why are you just randomly talking about
I'm randomly talking on here because somebody had asked for a Q&A, and I thought, well, it's a Friday night, and we would do a Q&A, and it might be fun. And my husband and I are super cool, so we've got a Q&A. So if you're just popping on, where are you tuning in from? Oh my goodness, and I'm watching myself scroll through the other things because he went on here. So, okay, good question. Are you in ketosis if you drink the drink? Hey, can you grab me a packet?
Yes.
If you drink the drinks that I drink and you eat carbs, are you still in ketosis? That is a really good question. So in the very beginning, how I started is I started with a product. I drank it. It put me in ketosis in under an hour. And I'm very adamant about this. I always say, take off your black robe. There are some people out there that are very, very, like, if you will notice, there are people over here on all spectrums of what keto looks like, right? I love a lifestyle approach. Some people are like counting carbs and broccoli and counting carbs and onions. Some people have to be so strict keto because of medical reasons. That's not us, and I can't coach you in that spot. This is how I started. I started with, not that.
Well,
I started with this.
Sometimes just don't mess up good for perfect.
I started with this. So you can drink this, get into ketosis in under an hour, and if, say I was drinking that and like an hour later I ate, maybe it was a better pancake but it wasn't a keto pancake, I'm not knocked out of ketosis. So this is how I explain this to people. If you drink the product, you don't have to eat strict keto. Most people that I coach or walk through, thousands of you, eat low carb. You try to stick to 75 or, why am I so clogged? There's some water. Or under 50 carbs a day. That's low carb. So they try to do the best they can. They eat better carbs, sweet potatoes, things like that. But they don't want to be strict keto. They take the product. They're in ketosis for, I think it's like anywhere from, I always say it like a pretty big, like say it's like 4 to 8 hours. I've tracked my ketones like 8.5 hours. Say 4 to 8 hours. The better you eat, really, the longer it will last. I always tell people, if you decide to drink this and just binge on whatever you want, it's not going to knock you out of ketosis right away, but you're not going to be in ketosis as long as you might want to be. I hope that's making sense. You don't have to be strict keto, but if you eat well, your body will utilize it longer. You'll feel better. Most people drink one of these a day. They do the best they can with their food without tracking, and they feel great. We work on their water intake, and we just take it one step at a time. Some people that are strict keto still drink the product because it amplifies what they're doing. So I'll give you an example. My husband, for the very first day we ever got this in the mail, and he was already in ketosis. So his blood ketone levels would be about like a 1.2. And I remember one of his very best friends, Shane, and him came home from work. He used to work at a insurance company, and they tested their blood. It was a 1.2. They drank the product. They stayed at our house for exactly 45 or 50 minutes. I think they tracked it at 59 minutes. And they tested their blood because they were home for lunch, and it shot up to like a 3.2. It was crazy. You can test this in your blood. Not all ketones can be, because one of the questions people are now asking is going, are all ketones created equal? No. So we got to drink this product 3.5 years ago when there was nothing out there, nothing that on the consumable market that could be drank for pure therapeutic ketones for the average consumable person. What happens when something becomes evident? Like, oh my goodness, people can drink ketones. Other companies go, I want to capitalize on that. So they decide to create a ketone product. I'm going to tell you this right now. Be aware of what you drink. Cheap gets cheap, right? Or you get what you pay for. So there are things out there that people try to make a buck off of that have fillers in it, like not good fillers, like yucky stuff. You got to test it in your blood and make sure your blood, like that's how you know it works. It's in your blood system, right? And make sure you've got the research to back it up. So we've got doctors and scientists on board that we have for 3.5 years that are like knocking on Prove It's door going, hey, I want to join you. Oh my goodness, you're changing people's lives. You've taken our research and actually implemented it and taken it into action, and it's not sitting on a shelf somewhere. So anyways, that was a long story, but like you can drink this, not be in ketosis nutritionally, and still have ketones in your system for a good amount of time.
What's Zam?
I need another question. Was that right here? Where's the...
I got it right here. All right.
Okay. If you're just tuning in, ask questions.
Yeah. Where are you tuning in from?
And if you're bored of us, I'm not offended.
Hey, you know what? We're hanging out with, as of right now, 100 of our friends. So
this is like our keto.
Where are you from?
This is like
what
our keto family.
This weekend, and let us know what questions you have. We're going to keep chugging through these.
We're just going to chat for a little while longer until we're ready to put our kids to bed because they're all upstairs having fun.
Sue says drinking water is the hardest thing for me.
You know what?
Why is drinking water so difficult?
So you want to know what the funnest thing that I do? Find your favorite shaker bottle. Do you like to drink out of a shaker bottle or a cup with a straw? I actually prefer to drink a cup with a straw. Go get yourself a fun bottle or cup and always have it with you. Some people measure it because they put like 8 rubber bands around their cup, and every time they drink one, they fill the whole cup, they take one off, and their goal is to have all the rubber bands off of the cup by the end of the day.
I love it.
It is a discipline. Like, you just have to do it. So do it, have fun. Get a fun bottle, put the rubber bands around it. Maybe like at the end of the week, if you drink all of your glasses of water every single day, then I don't know, go buy a t-shirt.
All right, what's the difference between low carb and keto?
Low carb, so the strict ketogenic diet is approximately 80% fat, 15% protein, and 5% carbs. And so if you do, and it could be different for some people, that's approximations, really high fat, moderate protein, low carb, your body will produce ketones, and ketones are a fuel source. Low carb is just going, you know what? I'm just going to mentally log my carbs in my head as I'm eating things throughout the day. I think low carb is considered like 75 or 50 or under. But you're probably not going to be in ketosis that way. But low carb is still great. Like, you're eating less processed junk, you're eating less carbs, you're eating less sugar. You probably won't be in ketosis nutritionally. Like, you won't have those ketones to help with the brain fog, to help with the focus, to help with the energy, all of those things. That's why a lot of people drink that.
It is fascinating. So Katie says usually if you eat 20 grams of carbs or less for a few days, your body will go into ketosis.
Right.
It all depends. Like, everybody's body is built differently.
100%.
You don't know like what past damage could have been done on the body.
Yep.
And someone also asked, like, what blood ketone meter do you use? We don't have any specific brand.
I can't remember. Ours is in Minnesota. If you go on Amazon, there's a ton of them. They're not cheap. Like, the meter themselves are cheap. It's like $5 a strip. We used to check our blood ketones for like 6 months, almost every couple of days, because we were infatuated with it. I can just tell them in ketosis.
That was such a waste of money, because I'd rather not use the strip and take one of these and get the benefits of keto
right.
other than testing.
Here, there's a doctor that we follow that I used to listen to, and he said he actually would track people, and he was trying to help people get into ketosis, and he said there are so many variables to some people never getting there due to, like, he said metabolic damage. I don't even quite understand exactly what that means, but he talked about, like, medicines that people were taking, or
so it's kind
even
of like,
being overweight for a certain amount of time can cause damage on your body, and he would say some people just don't get there.
Right.
So while some people can, like, I will tell you this because I hear so many people come here and go, I was scrutinized, or I had so many people on a different page tell me that I wasn't doing it right because I wasn't getting into ketosis. Some people just seriously won't get there, or they're not tracking right. They're maybe eating too much protein. Like, it takes a little while. It took you a long time to get there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, next question.
That was such a long time ago. That was like that was almost 7 years ago.
That was a long time.
Do you realize that? Okay, this is my question for you. I'll keep going through this. But Elena thinks you look good in a hat. I think you look really great in a hat too.
Thanks.
So I'm curious, if you could go back 3.5 years ago when you drank day one where you drank your first packet.
Yep.
To where you're at today. What's been like one of the biggest distinctions that you wish you would have known 3.5 years ago that you know now today?
You know what? I think a lot of people start this journey with fat loss. And I think that's great because if you just look around, there are so many people that just don't feel well because they kind of, I don't think people truly understand the power of food and how good you can feel. So as a mom, I was overwhelmed, tired. We had 4 babies, like little kid. They're all so close. All of our girls are in age. And I was tired. What I didn't know is I didn't know that how much food had an effect on that, and I didn't have to be. So my very first realization was, oh my goodness, like I drank it and I didn't need a nap. And the second day I didn't need a nap. And the third day, and I thought, we'll see how long this lasts. And then it was a month, and it's fast forward 3.5 years. I don't take naps. I don't need naps. That's my biggest thing because I don't have time to nap. Like, I've got stuff to do, right? I think the biggest thing that you and I have learned sitting with experts is the power of ketones in the brain. That is probably my biggest distinction, is listening to these experts on the research they're doing and watching people's brains light up, how your brain can process ketones, how it can run on ketones, how it can... It's pretty amazing. It's just the whole body and how it's kind of like these ketones go into your system. They're like little transmitters, and they go do what they need to do, and they go to the muscles, and they go to the brain, and they do what your body needs them to do. Like, hi, I need them here, and I'm going to go here because Stephanie wants big arm muscles, so we're going to go grow our muscles. And
you've been working out very well.
Ketones preserve muscle, and so there's so many benefits to ketones other than fat loss, although that's great. But I feel like I look better, I'm stronger, I think I'm more confident even than I was in high school or college.
I love it.
Probably my wisdom hairs that I don't have anymore, but I've only found 3.
So this is, and I know you're not a doctor. Maybe if you were to say this in under 2 sentences, what would you say? What's the difference between the keto diet and the Atkins diet, or are they the same?
So the Atkins diet, so in under 2 sentences, so it's just fats. It's good fats. And actually, I'm pretty sure the person that created the Atkins diet went back and he apologized and said, hey, you need to add in some good fats. That's it. So I'm not a doctor. I know there's something to do with eating too much protein, how your body handles it. So keto is adding in the fats, which keeps you fuller longer. That's why you eat good fats. The butter, the avocados, some nuts, things like that, because it makes it so you don't have to eat every 2 hours, 6 meals a day.
I love it. Hey, so for those of you who are just tuning in, or if you're popping off, thanks for hanging out with us on Friday night. But for those of you tuning in, here's what we're doing. We're sitting at a farmhouse in Kentucky. We're having fun. We just missed a meeting. That's why I was first on a text message. It's not a big deal. This is awesome.
What was the meeting?
It was for LCD review, like to go overview. I didn't get the update until just right now. But here's what's really fun. We wanted to hang out with you all. We wanted to answer some questions. We wanted to hang out. So let us know where you're tuning in from. If there's anybody that you think could use some value from talking with Stephanie or getting a direct message from Stephanie, just feel free to shoot them an invitation, tag them in here, tell them to hop on. We would appreciate that. People are asking, where did you get the hat? Where did you get the hat?
My hat? I got my hat. Where did I get my hat? I don't even know. I like it because it says blessed.
Why do you like that hat so much?
That's funny that people are asking about my hat. I don't know.
I got a really good question.
I love to wear hats. I just do. So
this is probably my
I think I got it off of Facebook or Amazon. Go to Amazon.
What happened was you got hit with an ad.
Oh.
I think that's
you know what? Nope. My girlfriend in Oklahoma had it on her Facebook, and I'm pretty sure I got it from her. And then what happened to my other hat? We lost it.
Well, you thought you lost it.
I think we lost it. Then he bought me another one.
And
now what's going to happen to all of you is Facebook is going to hit you up with a blessed hat because they listen to everything that we say.
That is so true. So this is probably my favorite question so far. And I know there's a lot of them.
You can't see my face.
This question, I really hope you take this to heart.
Okay.
Okay. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
So Kimberly, and I apologize, Brancato Quigley asks this question. Hi, we're keto noobs and a family of 5.
I love that.
How cool is that? How much would you say you spend on groceries a month for your family? Now, before you answer that.
Okay.
Remember what it was like 4 years ago.
Yep.
Do you remember life back then?
Okay.
Like, what was our grocery situation 4 years ago, 3.5 years ago, and where it's at today? And I want you to be real with these people.
Okay. 3.5 years ago, our budget was $120 a week. I think $125 if I could stretch it. So that was, and you can do keto on a budget. Like you can go to Aldi's. Aldi's has gotten some really great organic foods. We love Costco. You've got to spend a little bit more, but you can get a good chunk of it for the month. I love Costco. You can just be resourceful. Like there's some really great, go to Pinterest and type in like family, like crock pot meals and soups, especially in this season. Like there's some really great meals that you can make that feed a lot of people. So I would say don't get overwhelmed with that part of it. Now, 3.5 years ago, I would have to go to the store and count pennies, like $120, $25. I can maybe stretch it, mapping out all of your foods. If you're trying to stay within a budget, first of all, do not go to the store without a meal plan and everything that you need so you don't just grab random stuff. So, and then Aldi's is great. Number 2, when we started Prove It, drinking this, and eating high-fat, low-carb, you don't have to eat as much. So that cuts down on your grocery bill. And we just felt healthier. So there's lots of variables. What changed in our life is this. I don't count how much I spend on groceries anymore, and I probably spend more than the average person because my goal when we started sharing Prove It is I actually was never going to talk about this product ever. I told my husband, don't ask me to talk about it. I will never tell anybody that I drink these ketones. And as I started feeling great as a mom, I just started telling my girlfriends and telling people that were like, I'd like to lose some fat, or man, I'm tired. And I was like, hey, what do you know about ketones and ketosis? So I'll just tell you this. My first goal was, man, if I could share something that's truly changing my life and make some grocery money, that would be amazing. So my goal was $400 a month in grocery money, and that's what we did. And as I started sharing with people, like this is getting into a whole different topic, but I would just tell you this. I have gotten more passionate over the last 3.5 years of really truly talking about what our family loves. I walked around my house the other day before we came to Kentucky, and I said, Steve, do you want to know how many of you on here and in my Instagram account have messaged me asking how many or what kind of, what's that thing that we just ordered? What's that?
Which thing?
That pot thing that we just used. What's that thing?
The pot? Oh, the air fryer?
Air fryer. I'm pretty sure that Amazon should pay me for this air fryer. I'm pretty sure there's probably 1,000 of you out there that bought that because I've answered 1,000 questions or more of what kind of air fryer we bought. I'm going somewhere with this. I don't need Amazon money, but what I'm saying is this. Or, like the other day I was telling my girlfriend, you should really watch this movie. It is so funny. Or I've been recommending a lot of books. The reason I'm telling you this is because I used to say, don't tell people that I'm sharing this, right? But the more I shared it, I thought, how selfish of me is this not to do this? Because that's changing my life. It's changing thousands of other people's lives, and it's providing for our family. And so our first goal was grocery money. So long story short, like that's what I did. So we've gotten to a place in our life and way beyond the $400 a month to where I don't count grocery money anymore. I legitimately don't. If I had to guesstimate, you probably wouldn't want to know. Because I just, like, we love to feed people. We love to have people over. We love to just, hey, come on over. We've got burgers. I just love to have things stocked up. So I don't say that to brag or boast. I say that it's just kind of one of the goals that our family has set, right?
That's really good. What did it first mean to you when you got to buy the girls their Christmas dresses?
So our family used to live on a tight budget. And so we met the $400, like by sharing that. And then my next goal, like I remember going Christmas dress shopping, which is coming up very soon. And I know a lot of families get into this situation where like Christmas is tight. And I remember going to the store bawling my eyes out because we could buy our girls Christmas dresses. That is the power of, we call it community-based marketing. So you should you know what? Here's the deal. You should grab me a whiteboard real quick. I have an idea. I want to show you something.
All right.
So I was telling people, I had an idea the other day. I was like, I want to show people the power of truly sharing something with others if it's truly going to change their life. And so a lot of people get this like yucky feeling about network marketing or direct sales. Like, I don't feel like I'm selling something. I feel like I'm sharing something, right? And I had this distinction the other day. Watch this. So a lot of people.
Backwards. Should I see if I can fix it?
Nope.
Should I hold this for a second?
No, it's fine. Can you hold this for a second? I'm going to show you something.
She's
very
adamant.
So a lot of people talk about let's start with the food pyramid.
What I was saying was, I can flip it so it's not backwards anymore.
No, but you're in my nose. You've got to back up.
All right.
This
is real.
The food pyramid. First of all, we're all learning that this food pyramid needs to be flipped, right? And so we learned how many, like down here in the very first food pyramid, this is all grains, right, that we're not going to eat. And up here was the fats. What we have since learned is to flip it, right? So
the tip is to flip.
These are now the carbs and the breads and the pastas, and this is the good fats and the proteins, right? Like we've learned how to flip this pyramid. Eating keto or low carb, this is powerful. I've learned this same thing in what we're calling community-based marketing. So some people look at direct sales and they go, that person, I don't want to be under that person. And it's a pyramid because they're the only ones making the money, right?
I like that.
And
that's good.
This is what I will tell you is what I love about Prove It and why I talk about this product so much.
You're an independent Prove It promoter.
I'm an independent Prove It promoter. What I love about this is something that I will say this. Prove It has created something called community-based marketing. We lead with education. Like, if you don't believe what I'm saying, like, just message me and I'll give you research all day long. I'll give you Keto 101 videos. I'll give you some videos from the doctors and the experts. We can show you some research on what we have our hands on. Not all ketones are created equal. But what I want to tell you is this. They said, what can we do to add value to people's lives? We've already got a product that 100% works, right? Like, you can test it in your blood. It's changing I'm going to say moms because a lot of you are moms all over the place. And we're going to flip it.
I would say families.
I'm going to say families. You're right. Families. So it's not about me, right? It's about this. We work as a team. So we flipped this and said, this isn't a pyramid thing. Those are illegal, by the way. This is called community-based marketing. So I love to look at it as it's like flipping the pyramid like we did with the food pyramid. It's going, I'm going to share something, right? And I'm going to share it with this person. And this is my team member. And we do this together. Like, we do this together all day long. You have no idea how many moms I've locked arms with that we help change families' lives. We help them eat better. We help them to provide grocery money. We help them to provide Christmas money for their families. Like, that's what we do. I kind of got on a rant. But good. I think it's super powerful because I was telling somebody the other day how many things that I share or how many things that we share on social media because of the power of social media. But Target's not going to pay you and Walmart's not going to pay you. And
bought some stuff from them.
But what I'm simply saying is this, like, why would you give somebody a bad rep and go, I would never buy that from you? Are you kidding? Think of how many families' lives you can change. And I don't even care if your passion is from makeup or clothes or hair products or ketones, right? Like, what are you passionate about? Because this industry is phenomenal if you're doing it correctly. That means building relationships, you're leading with education, you're adding value, and you've got a product that works. That's what works. The team works, right? We've got that here with Prove It. So I will get over my rant and say this. Like,
I love it. Go, go, go.
Here's the deal.
You're so attractive when you get fired up like that. Well, you're always attractive. But
anyways, I'll hold the phone.
No, I like holding it.
Anyways.
Don't get me back on
this has changed our family's life. I don't count grocery money. We can buy things that our goal was to live and give like we've never been able to do before, and we can do that. So I will end with this.
No, let's not end. There's more questions.
I'm not ending.
Oh.
Okay, ask a question.
Oh, they're leaving. We had some leave because they thought you were ending. That's
I'm not,
okay. They'll come back.
I'm not offended at all.
Hey,
let's
thanks
do
for hanging out with us.
two more Q&A questions, and we'll let you go. It was kind of long-winded.
That was great. Man, there's so.
If you want to know more about community-based marketing,
okay, we got it. How about just rapid?
We're
fire?
rapid fire.
If
you want to know more about community-based marketing or joining our team, private message me because I would love to chat with you. Go.
Okay, so these will be yes or no. Or
yes or no.
sentence.
Yes or no. Okay.
Okay. So do you drink diet sodas?
No.
Can you say the percentages for a ketogenic diet again?
Approximately 80% fat, 15% protein, and 5% carbs. If you're strict keto, no product.
How long are you supposed to remain in ketosis? Forever.
There are some people that are forever, especially. Do you want to know where the ketogenic diet started? It started at the Mayo Clinic. It started with children. That's where it started. Yeah. There are people that are in ketosis almost their entire life. They have to be. There are so many of you that think that you are, but actually you're in and out because of how many carbs and protein. So like most people are not in ketosis for longer than a few weeks before they might fall out and back in. So you're fine.
A few sentences.
Sorry.
Steve Delinda Rodriguez asked, do you think it would be cool if they started making keto-friendly menus?
Like us, personally?
Well, no, just maybe in general.
Oh, actually, I'm actually seeing more restaurants that actually have that. So there was a restaurant specifically that had 2 keto options. And so I think that you're going to see it more and more and more of restaurants making keto-friendly options. So, yes.
What's the difference between Keto OS, Keto Max, and Keto Nat?
Keto OS was our very first formulation. We only had 2 flavors. When we first drank it, we had 1. Then they created it dairy-free, so we had 2. Keto Max was created, which is behind me. And so this one is smoother, hits your system faster, lasts a little bit longer. They would say more bioavailable. Your body can uptake them better. They all are great. What is going to happen very soon is all of our current products, Keto OS and Keto Max, are all turning into something called Keto Nat. Prove It has a patent, and we have, what?
Oh, sorry.
We have the only fermented natural ketones on the market that will ever have it. So everything is fermented. Everything will be the Keto Nat as it rolls out. And so it's powerful.
Thoughts on keto flu?
I don't go through the keto flu because I drink this. I mean, it gives you the ketones. If you are going through the keto flu, like you're going to have to stick with it. You need electrolytes. So if you're eating strict keto, and even taking the product, make sure to grab like magnesium, like something like Calm, CALM. You can get it at a local grocery store, just a powder. You can grab some potassium, eat some avocados. You need to drink a lot of water, or just add some Himalayan salt, shake it in your water. Just some electrolytes.
Okay, perfect. Let's see. Tammy says, I followed 70 fat, 5 carbs, 25 protein for 2 weeks, and nothing is happening. Tammy, it's time to utilize Keto OS. And I would also say,
or we've got a reboot, or I would say, look at how much dairy you're eating. Women eat way too much dairy, and it causes people just to like sit here. So I would say, evaluate how much dairy you're eating. And something that people really, truly don't pay attention to is how much sleep they're getting and their stress. Like, if you're not sleeping, your body knows that. If you're stressed out, your body holds on to what you have. Let's chat about pure therapeutic ketones. Let's chat about the keto reboot coming up November 1st. Look at your dairy.
Katie wants to know, I thought this was hard on your kidneys. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm not a doctor. This is not. This goes straight to your bloodstream. And what I know from that is this. I think the problem with that is a lot of people eat too much protein and they don't drink enough water. So I would just say go to PubMed, the site, and just go type in like ketones or keto diet and kidneys, and you can read some research from doctors and experts, and it would walk you through. It's going to tell you to drink more water. It'll probably say, how much protein are you eating?
Let's see. Hawaii, shared, Colorado, Ohio, Minnesota.
This is fun.
I
mean, I don't know if people will watch it all through, but
you know what?
It's
Thanks
a Friday
for hanging
night.
Out with us.
Right.
Someone followed Ideal Protein Protocol, low fat, low carb, no sugar, and lost a lot of weight.
Talk louder.
It's Tammy. It's Tammy who we just suggested uses the reboot. So I should have read the name first. But she was here, lost a lot, and gained a lot back. You see this so frequently.
I hear it
with
all
women.
the time. At least anywhere from once to 5 times a day of women that do really well for a period of time, fall off the wagon or stop for a little bit and then gain it all back. it's not about the fast fat loss. It is about long-term. Like, we're going into 3.5 years, and I'm going to give you an example of what it looks like to eat this way, lifestyle approach. In the morning, people get so irritated. Like, I think in America, we've got a stigma that you need all of these variety of meals, and people get so bored of eating things. So here's the deal. Like, we're spoiled here. Like, you don't need to have 30 different meal options. So in the mornings, our girls know you get bacon, eggs, sausage. Today we had some keto pancakes or an omelet. Like, that's what you get. If you don't want to eat, then drink some water and go play until you're ready to eat, right?
We used to say this all the time. You get what you get and you don't throw it.
Right. My kids still eat fruit. So sometimes they'll have berries. My kids still eat some fruit, so they have it later in the day. I don't start their morning off with it. Lunch is deli meats. Yes, we eat deli meats. You can find nitrate-free meat. We have salads, no croutons. We just don't buy the bread. And we keep dinners very simple.
Christina Yeager said, no shaming me.
Did I shame her?
No, you shamed me.
Me?
Me. Steve,
you?
Your husband.
Why?
Me. I felt it, but I forgave you. Don't worry.
I didn't mean to shame him.
A lot of people love you. Stephanie, you're awesome. I'd like to know more about the products.
You know what? Why don't you post 5 or okay? So we do 5 and 10 days.
Have them post a 5.
We do 5 and 10 day experiences all day long. So post a 5 below. I'll send you a video to watch. It's a really fun 4-minute cartoon video that explains the basics of it. And then if you want more research, I can send you that as well.
Oh, sorry, I shamed you.
Oh, thank you, Christina.
Christina, you're amazing.
Thank you.
Honey, do you forgive me? Mm-hmm. I don't know what I said, but I'm sure it was extremely
So
helpful. Here's
the deal. Don't mess up good for perfect.
That's so good.
This is a lifestyle. This is about good, better, best. If a lot of people think that everything has to be perfect and they don't do anything, right? A lot of people watch my videos. They go buy all the keto recipe books. They go do everything, but it's all up here, but they don't implement it. If you're going to watch but not implement it, it's not going to change your life. So take one step at a time. Breakfast. Once you get that down, move on to lunch, then move on. Or maybe your water intake, or maybe you're cutting out the pop first, or maybe you're starting, like, you want to know how I tell people to start? Because I see way too many people fall off. This is how we start. This is your life preserver. Get your booty to private message me, and this is your life preserver. You drink it, it gets your head above the water, and we start implementing one step at a time. So however you want to start, just take the action step to do something.
For any of you who commented reboot down below, we'll send you a message in the next couple of days because the reboot will
start November 1st. You cannot pre-order it. It's only sold for a very short amount of time, so it'll be sold for 3 or 4 days. The reason the company does that is they only make a certain amount, and then we all do it together. So I plug you into a private Facebook group where you are coached from the experts in that space, and we help you through it the entire time. So it helps people get past plateaus, helps people either start, or helps people that are already been on their journey to amplify what they're doing. My favorite benefit is it truly helps people understand that you control food. Food does not have to control you.
I love that. You know, I loved when you were talking about flipping the food pyramid upside down. I loved how you talked about the power of community-based marketing. If for those of you who are tuning in now, probably 15 minutes ago, Stephanie went through something that, in my opinion, was extremely powerful. When this is done, rewind it, go watch it. But I would say reach out to Stephanie. We've really been able to help a lot of families.
And my sexy husband, Steve.
Hey, I appreciate that. People are asking, where do I order the powder? I love that. We've got a lot of different powders. We've got stuff that goes in coffee. This stuff's amazing. We've got 143, which is the MCT. Go to ketomom.com.
Go to ketomom.com.
Or if you want to support me, go to ketodad.com.
If you want to try a variety of flavors without committing a month to anything, post a 5 below. I will shoot you a message, and you can. And we mail them out every day. People try them. I lock arms with you. I don't just hand you the packets and say, see you later. Like, every day, my expectation is that you check in with me. You let me know how your energy, your focus, your appetite is. We talk about your food, and we see what you think.
I would have a question for you.
What?
So you've answered a lot of people's questions. This is a lot of fun.
If we missed it, shoot it one more time below before we're done.
A lot of people.
What's your question?
Okay, so I'm curious for people who are looking at you and they're like, how did you get here? How did you get here? How have you been consistent?
I already told them in the beginning of the video.
Oh, so you got to go back to the beginning of the video.
Right.
Okay, so my question for you then is this. What are you looking for?
That's a good question. Why do we do this? You know what? A lady watched us do our video at the YMCA this morning, and she was so curious, like, why do you do what you do? And I thought about that today. I would say this. Our family has been completely blessed 100% with health, with finances. We had some really great mentors. We have our entire marriage. Between marital advice and books, parenting advice, and we listen to a lot of books and podcasts. We really don't waste a lot of time watching TV. For whatever reason, we both love to learn, but we both want to inspire others. So our family's mission statement is to help other families live healthy, faith-filled lives. So I hope it's not a secret that our family really has great faith, right? And we really want to inspire other families to do this because I feel like there are so many people that think that there's no hope. And the 3 words that we kind of strive on is teach, inspire, activate. So we want to teach people to do what we're doing, to make a lifestyle approach, to create long-term lifestyle habits, inspire other families to do the same thing, but also join us to do it with us, and activate them to actually take the action steps to do it.
Ooh, that's good. So what are you looking for?
I didn't answer the question. What am I looking for?
You told them what you're about. So what are you
looking for other families that want to join us. Like, I don't know. I'm looking for...
Where did you start, though, 3.5 years ago? Did you ever think it would be to where it's at today? Like, what are you looking for?
I'm looking for other people that want to do the same thing that we're doing. Like, every day, we've got people that reach out, but I really am. It doesn't even have to be a family. It can be a single mom, or it could be a dad that works 60 hours a week and wants to be home with his kids. Like, we've been able to bring a lot of families or parents, either help them achieve financial freedom or help them bring some type of just more finances into their home so they can take their family on a vacation, or they can have that little bit of wiggle room in there so they're not stressed. We're looking for people that want better.
I love that.
What about you?
It makes me think of, I mean, it's been no secret. I'm a huge fan of community-based marketing, 100%. But when I was 18 years old, I was opened up to the idea of what residual income was. And at that time, like, I was working at a gym, but we were servers for a long time in the restaurant.
10 years. And I loved being a server.
It made me think of this analogy. So to me, some people, if you know what residual income is, you know the power of it. If you've never heard of it, think of it this way. It's kind of like if you were a server and, you know, typically you give a 20% tip at the restaurant when you go out to eat. So just say your table was $100, you got a $20 tip. Imagine if every time that couple or that family came into that restaurant, if you waited on them or not, but you were the first person who ever took care of them, you were the first person who took care of them at the restaurant. Like, imagine every time that they came back to the restaurant, you got that same 20% tip over and over and over again. So what I love about what we get to do is by what we start and by how it goes on for such a long time, like, that's the power of residual income. So I say all of that because for us, it's not about the money. It's never been about the money. It's been about the pursuit of better. But I'll tell you this. We've met a lot of people, and they say this one thing. This is what my common thing is that we get when we find out, what do you really want in life? People say this. They say, I want to help people. I want to help people. And so this is what's fascinating. How can people help people if they don't have the margin to do it? So what I'm looking for, we're looking for another 50 families to start right now that can create $500 a month. Create a little bit of margin in your family to create some breathing room so your conversations at home are more peaceful, so you can buy your kids those dresses. Like, $500 for so many families would go such a long way. So what I'm looking for is we're looking for those 50 families that want to raise their hand, that want to champion the ketone conversation, that want to be a part of something bigger than themselves, and to truly just go for it. I mean, we just got done with a 3-day retreat, a leadership coaching dynamics class.
Loved it.
And the level of awareness that was brought to us and brought to the people who were in that room, it's life-changing. It's stuff that
everybody should be taught.
They should be.
Right.
They just should be.
It's pretty phenomenal. I would say this is a saying that our CEO and our very good friend says all the time: what you give, you have forever.
That's good.
And so part of this is just giving people information and giving of our time and giving of our resources, because like I would say you can't outgive God, right? Like what you give, you have forever. And so it really is. And so we're giving of our time. We're giving of what we've learned. We're giving of everything that we love. That's it. So
I'm going to just say this
why
real
don't we
quick.
do
For
this?
some of those of you who you've asked some very serious questions, I'm going to actually message Stephanie. For those of you who put some of these things, we're not doctors, so we don't talk about a lot of stuff that.
But I could give you some, I can give you doctor stuff about this.
We can give you a lot of resources.
If you've got specific medical advice, you're going to have to go to PubMed. You're going to have to Google ketones or whatever you're going through.
And I just want you to reach out to Stephanie, because I'm going to have to hide some of these, and it's not that we don't love you or appreciate you, but we're going to hide it to protect our house.
We have to, because I'm not a doctor, so.
So for those of you who are still tuning in, or if you're tuning in right now, this was a lot of fun. We got to talk to you you got to hear a lot from Stephanie about the story of our family.
I hope you guys are having a good Friday night.
And this is how we hang out on Fridays. Our kids are
sometimes we have friends over. Sometimes we do have people that like us.
Hey, we got lots of people who like us, I think.
The camels out in the pasture want to hang out
Our
with
kids
us.
are upstairs. They have a sleepover.
We should probably go
They're
check on
making a
them.
big
They've been
tent.
really quiet.
They have been. And so when your kids are quiet, that's when you know you need to go check on them.
Okay, we appreciate you all.
Thanks for tuning
in. Let us know how we can help. Post a 5 below if you want some info. Reach out if you want to teach, inspire, activate other people like we are. Or with those messages that Steve may hide, the medical ones, because I'm not a doctor, private message me and I'll try to get you just like a resource that you can read. So we appreciate you all. Have a great night.